It's Dyer's turn to pick.
Well, it seems like they are the underdogs, but Southeast Asia has been there before. In fact, most of the time it feels like they are the underdogs, and they've managed to get an upset one or two throughout TI history. There's some pretty well-known matches there, so maybe Talon can finally get a win over Liquid in the playoffs. Avery, you believer?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't believe
the thing is, I start to believe in Talon once it gets deep enough in. Once that game starts to progress and I can kind of see it coming together, I'll start to believe. Damn, these games always just so hard for them. Right. And this is another game where, again, I kind of agree with the assessment here that it's a very slow line. It's very clunky. You have the bristle to provide you some early fighting capability, but outside of that, I mean, you're just trying to scale, right? You have Phoenix, Zeus, Shaker, Terrorblade. It's all about the late game team fights here. You're going to be a powerhouse if you get there. At the same time, Liquid, they have a lot to combat that team fight with displacement with the Tuskar, and if you give them a first blood again,
the second first blood of the series going to Liquid once again. And we heard from our panel, they feel like Liquid's actually going to be thriving in this laning phase. You give them a first blood like this. This is not the way Talon want to be starting things off.
And to Illumina, this is a hero that uses some early good control tremendously well. Yeah. It's also a game where I feel like Liquid are going to pseudo Trilane. This is a really old school Luna Trilane. The Tuskar, especially AA, this is a very classic Luna Trilane. A lot of early firepower, pretty much a guaranteed kill on anybody if they decide to put Boxy into that lane at any point in the early game. And you can pretty much leave a Dawn alone and the Terrorblade if the meta's down.
Yeah, one of the trends of this tournament, I feel like, is we are using those portals more and more to gank the side lanes and make these sort of, as you said, situations where you're constantly moving with one of your heroes.
So I think a lot of this game might come down to how much Boxy gets done in the early game for Liquid and how much Q can kind of counteract that and get his timing later on, but it's definitely going to be late. And they're going to block the off lane here, to try and get this double melee lane, something in the early game. And also against that Tusk roaming threat, right? You don't know where Boxy's going to start. You have to be prepared for this. And Mickey's going to have first blood gold here as well. So any advantage you can get for Jabs, propel him into a faster Vanguard, get the Ancient stacks going, and then fight around Makoto. That's your game plan if you're Talon. And if you're Liquid, get Boxy into game potential, get runes for Nisha, and then start combining this Dawn ult off of the Storm Spear jumps, and you're just going to be slaying Makoto on the map.
Now, Bristleback is the second most played hero of this tournament, just one behind the Muerta right now. 33 games of Bristleback. And while he's close to 50% win rate, I feel like this hero has been super dominant when, you know, like things go well in the laning phase. This hero just seems to pop off after.
Absolutely great.
The first 3 to 4 levels doesn't get punished too hard. You got to run them. And then you have to be able to heal. And I mean, we've seen teams be able to do that. There's definitely some counters to this hero. Break helps. anti-healing helps, and of course Liquid have their Ancient Apparition that they've pretty much gone to every time it's available. The hero Insania is just going to play the whole tournament, it seems like, until someone bans it out or stops it.
Yeah, with all the hearts going around and all the strength heroes, you got to get some percentage-based damage somewhere in here.
So I think Liquid have a line that they can deal with Bristle in those between fights. I mean, Tuskar is like an old-school counter as well. He's a butcher. Tag team him up and chop him down.
Sure. You combine that with somebody like the Luna. I wonder if the Glaive interaction with the Shard actually works with tag. That would be pretty interesting.
True. Still, it's also a Dawn Tusk lane. This is a lane we saw Shopify run a lot.
Yeah.
The success. Nowhere in his laning phase. He has to be careful, but so far this lane is going really well for Talon, and Ollie is just dominating the double melee up here with the Fire Spirit.
Yeah, double melee heroes that rely on being able to hit you, so that attack speed is even more potent, and they're going up against carry that has the highest armor in the game. So,
it's tough.
Yeah, they might be able to pull out a kill somewhere, but
probably not up here. This lane's just going too well for Talon.
Yeah.
It's going to kill the kill threat that Liquid wanted to exist up here, which again points towards, is Boxy going to roam? Is he going to look towards the mid or these runes on a cheeky Zeus kill? Probably not with the leap, unless it's on cooldown from Nisha harass. So this bottom lane, Talon need to coordinate where Boxy goes and when he tries to rotate. That's going to free up a lot of more farm for 23. Maybe he can control the map a bit more versus Zai than what happened in that first game with the Morphling versus the Darkseer. Zai definitely got the better of that matchup on the map.
So we're covering the side lanes, but let's talk about the mid lane matchup, because these are two heroes that neither one of these teams have really been running a whole lot. I mean, it's been 3 months since we saw a Storm Sphere pickup for Team Liquid, and on the other side, 6 months since Talon drafted a Zeus. Where did these heroes come from?
It's a very interesting. Well, I mean, Zeus. So that hero's just good. There. I mean, the Storm, though, the thing interesting about Storm in this game is you don't have to manage him. And the patch where we saw Storm was the Coddle Storm, the Pugna Storm.
Pugna.
Liquid have nothing to pump him up other than the Donald, and you know the Luna Aura is also nice on pretty much anything. But that's not really a Storm combo. So that's why I feel like the power runes for Nisha are really important here. And it's something that I feel like Liquid should prioritize, because you really want the power runes in the counterpick matchup for Storm when he wants to have the extra resources on his own to jump the enemy mid hero. Zeus is not that squishy of a mid. It's not your old man Zeus. It's a young man Zeus. He has leap, he has more mobility. Tankier. This hero can be deceptively hard to bring down.
And he builds up Phylactery, which I know you love.
Of course. I mean, Phylactery is just the best item in the game.
Feels pretty good right now, and there are a couple of these heroes that really can't get bursted parties.
The most funny. I mean, this is a great Phylactery Zeus game, because it'll help him tank up, and it'll kite out some of these heroes. So the Storm jumping him is not as deadly. You can start to kite out the fight against the Luna Breaker.
Yeah, I was about to say, Luna needs to be able to get, you know, kind of close to some of these fights to hit people, and Zeus can play that distance really well.
I mean, I'd like to see it on Makoto, but we've also seen a lot of these Zeus favor just going into the tankier. Like, the harder build-up in terms of damage output off of an Ags or sure Kaya build-up. Sure. There's not a lot of Zeus going the man to lightning hand. I'll man up and be open about it. Now, is that correct? I don't know.
Rotation from Q surprises Nisha. Really nice planned out TP there. Q gets him right on the corner, blocks him out with a Fissure, which wasn't even needed. Just the burst damage being that close to the app.
That is
good enough.
Kill by Q.
And Liquid gonna try and get a rebuttal here up at the top lane. 23 takes a lot of damage, but again, this hero is not so easy to bring down with some of that physical damage, which is what was left in the tank after they burned through 3 HP. Woo.
Foxy. The highlight in real life here. Barely gets away. I was gonna say Nisha, he had almost full wand and fairy fire, and he went early Falcon Blade. This is such a tanky Storm. To get that chain stuff perfectly there for Q is just incredibly heads up read. And it's a massive kill because suddenly Makoto has a faster ult, which could sway the side lanes here.
Right.
And it puts him in a better position to contest that 6-minute rune, which you gotta be thinking about if you're Talon.
Yeah, particularly if supports are, when they roam like this between the two lanes, if they don't successfully get kills, they tend to fall behind in experience, which just makes them even squishier and even easier to kill for that Thunder God's Wrath.
Bottle refill. So Nisha has massive resource advantage on Makoto here. He's arcane boosting up. I mean, this is a contest for sure, or at least you're going to get the 50 and DD top. Really nice news for Talon. That is a rune that Nisha really needed here.
Nisha's gonna fight for this one. Thunder God's Wrath bursts down the tusk, and looks like Insania's gonna be in trouble as well. They only need a couple more hits, and they will easily get back. Makoto walks away, hops away with the double kill.
Really big stack there. Makoto just living the dream start versus a counter pick. So what? He's 700 gold ahead of Nisha here, and he's gonna be in a position where Nisha gonna be able to find him in those woods or on the map anymore. Pretty good value out of the ult to push his support levels up as well. That was one of the issues for Talon last game. I mean, these lineups can be slow, but if you get support levels, you pick up a lot of pace and nice Victor can.
Oh, things are beginning to turn badly now. Now, he does have a lot of stick charges and a Lotus, but against this many heroes, they rotated so much on the side of Liquid into mid. The Mickey has no help, and there was even 23 coming through the portal to make sure the Luna's gonna die, and maybe they'll put some pressure on the tower too.
And it's another huge kill on the map because that Luna's level 6. It was well ahead of XP here on jabs and just living the life off that first blood. And
oh, nice play by 23 using the illusion, denying away that wisdom rune. I mean, just 2 minutes ago, Liquid was in a pretty damn good spot. The Storm Spirit and Luna were top of the network chart with this play in mid, now the play in bottom. Things are turning quite dramatically to the favor of Talon.
Talon showing up in game 2 in this early game, especially the supports. Suddenly, this lineup is not going to feel nearly as slow, right? Because you have 2 level 5 supports versus Liquid's level 3. And Boxy's start has just been very slow, right? Yep. He hasn't found that kill bottom too often. He's 0-1-1. Not a lot of stacking either. Downside of the Tuskar here, he can't set anything up for the Luna. So Mickey doesn't have a lot to fall back on. There's no ancient XP. And then you get that Wisdom Rune denied. It's like the cherry on top here. You have a lot more breathing room in this game for Talon to get these supports to their ults.
Oh,
And play around Makoto, who's
giving Nisha absolutely nothing for free.
yeah, who's on who is
They're gonna jump on Makoto here for the slowdown attack speed. Look, a beautiful Fisher. They do have the Dawnbreaker though, and that's gonna be the extra bit of help that they need to be able to burst down Makoto. Nisha commits. Can he finish him? They do. Zai managed to bring him down, but Nisha's gonna have to give up Slice for that one. And Jabs is on cleanup right now. 2 kills already. Look to chase after Zai, but Mickey does manage to like dissuade Talon from keeping that aggression going.
I think Talon are still very happy with this, right? You get another kill on Storm at a good time, which is 8 minutes. Arcane rune top, another rune Nisha would have died for, perhaps literally, as it'll probably go into the Zeus pocket here, and you didn't even need the Zeus ult for it. You got Donald off the map as well. A lot of small things going Talon's way here. And I also like this Max Fissure build. If you look at this type of lineup, you throw this Max Fissure into a hero, you bolt them with Zeus, throw a Zeus ult, Phoenix dives in, it's a massive amount of poke damage. That can force Nisha into an awkward position.
You can see one reason they wanted that kill on Makoto so badly is TP was still on cooldown.
Yep.
So he actually TP'd out, got into that fight, died, so he had to actually walk out to lane, which means he wasn't there for the power rune ultimately.
A little sad. Well, very happy with the start he's been given here.
You got double bounty rune sitting there for Makoto when he needs to fill up at a right time.
This is going to be a tough wall to break right now if you're Liquid. Your biggest priority is getting your supports involved. And it has to be through the Storm Spirit. There's just no way around it. Your lineup doesn't have much else to function until Mickey's ready to join those fights. And
Radiant's bottom tower.
I mean, it's a mass command. It's Luna. He wants to be hitting jungle. He wants to be hitting stacks right now. He does not have a clicking point. He does not have beam points. So Mickey joining these fights is not on the table. Gonna be some cheeky support kills probably while you try and stall out some of these lanes. Base.
Every game that I've seen a Bristleback have this kind of start, I feel like he's always walking away with the win. But we're gonna get a quick listening on Team Liquid, see how they're feeling about this game.
Dire's middle tower's in trouble. Which one, Dire? Radiant's bottom tower needs a hand. Radiant fortified constructions. Pretty good move if you ask me.
You believe in that?
I'm not sure if I do.
Yeah, I'm convinced there. I mean, I do believe this game's gonna be very slow.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower
Something about
is falling.
bringing some positivity and confidence we need to the most. The lady,
Not something I ever thrived in. I commend these players. They are catching up a little bit, right?
Yeah, they're
You have level 5.5 on Insania now. Slowly closing in on the ult. And of course, Talon, I mean, they're going to play like they're methodical. Not that they're going to jam the levels into you on your side of the map, especially into Donald, where the counter initiation is the way Liquid can come back. So you're not on some crazy clock here. It's just, that was not the start you were hoping for. Still looking for some action here. Only 3 kills in 11 minutes.
He's been playing so forward in this lane. They're going to bring 4 heroes to bring him down. Team Liquid, they really wanted to get this punish on Jabs, and they do get it. It cost them quite a lot, though, in some ways.
But you have to make these kind of moves to get boxing. Right? Otherwise, this puck can just sit level 4 forever. He's way too important to your lineup. And extra levels to boot. Zai gets involved, puts the blade mail to use. Really nice in this fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Their other global ability is now online. Insania's got the Ice Blast finally ready to go.
Dire's
So
top
Storm
tower is
can
about to
jump
be
in.
Radiant's top
You get the right
rubble.
timing there on the Ice Blast to follow it up. It looks like he's going to be sending a shot across the map, but Nisha's already left.
Showing it no part of that joke. Oh,
Got a raindrop on it. Immediately tips it. Got him. Got your raindrop.
that's value in the bank. He did go with the Kaya build level.
Okay.
Black Green Warriors. Very sad right now.
Meanwhile, Big A, he's got his Mass Madness building up to the Yasha, the whole farming build. I'm very curious. I was looking at all these Luda builds.
Dire's top tower is
And I
under
noticed
attack.
there was a lot of people experimenting in these pubs with the shard early, but as time went on, I felt like they were getting it later and later. What do you feel about
Dire's
the
top
Luda shard?
tower
Is
is
it
about to
good
be
or?
Radiant's top rubble.
I think it is very good.
Yeah.
And it's just you want to get it when you get to that fight and it has max value, which is it gets better with more survivability items. I think somewhere around that 3rd to 4th item, I think it is a sweet spot.
Yeah.
I think Yatoro has been getting it a little earlier than a lot of these other players. I think Western Europe tends to get it a little later, but I think as long as you pick it up somewhere, it's good. I feel like you can get it pretty early. I think the shard just has pretty good value. It doesn't cost much. I mean, Mickey's eyeing it up here. You can just go mask into the Yasha, the Manta shard timing. Not out of the question here, especially if maybe he feels like the game is very slow. Talon are going to take a fight in T-Tweet. You don't want to lose that.
Dire's
You don't
top
want to lose map
tower is
control.
falling.
It's an option to just bump up the survivability.
And it does speed up your farm a little bit. Probably maybe not as much as Complete obviously would, but Jabs.
Radiant
I will say that
scanning.
the aggressive component of the Luna Shard in this game is not amazing early. Maybe in the late game, if you can get on top of the bristle and hit him with it, but Terrorblade is not going to be on top of you. It's going to reflect you, hit you from far. Zeus is nowhere close to you. The Phoenix Shaker are nowhere closer. So it's pretty much only for survivability. I feel like it's not that great early in this game for Mickey. I think you just go better survivability items. You really want Butterfly or Satanic or some sort of timing the TV Zeus.
So it looks like he's gone through that same thought process. Build has changed, but he's going to be caught too. Revealing himself with a Blink Dagger. Jabs, he'll die at the same time. So the teams were making moves on both sides. 4-man gank kills the Bristleback and kills the Luna. Nisha
Radiant structures
being
are
away
fortified.
Wisdom Rune before the rotation can come
Radiant's
from
middle
Talon.
tower
Right,
is
that
under
is
attack.
that is a clear position for Mickey to be in alone, right?
Yeah.
Just walk up mid lane, you get Echo Slam. Maybe not expecting the blink to be this fast, but it was round crushed by the
Quick Thunder, the burst damage, it comes in. They collect pretty quickly on that one, but 1-3 is committed heavily to be able to finish up this tower. Might pay the ultimate price for it. Foxy gets down. Tag team, that's pretty easy. Foxy's going to be left behind, though. It's, the punch finally comes through. A double kill for Makoto. Was that worth it for 23 to stick around like that?
No, but it feels good for a team. It does not feel good for him.
Yeah.
So both carries mean something up here. An interesting exchange. I mean, it depends if you believe like Susan carry like Susan. I kind of feel like the hero doesn't function like that. I think he's a great 1.5 2, but he's not a true 1.
Yeah.
In that sense, I don't think you want to necessarily sacrifice yourself for Makoto here, who's already having a tremendous game. I think the TP death is going to cost Talon a bit here, but it is great for Q. And if we've seen Talon do anything, it's off the back of their 4, right? When Q has a good game and he's rolling, everything just starts to flow for the team. This fast blink has paid off very swiftly here.
Yeah, because he was thinking about getting the arcane boots at some point in time. I remember very early on, he had the 900 gold. I was like, yep, he's going to go for it, but he went for the fast blink. Got a kill. Now, he can maybe help Ollie? No. That's just enough burst. And this is the combo we should be seeing a lot from Liquid right here. Storm's here in Ancient Apparition, helps out a lot to be able to land that Ice Blast.
Even have Max Snowball throwing more magic damage on Ham. Vortex is going to do some work here, and they're still looking.
Can they control him enough? Easily burst him down. Jabs. Dawnbreaker coming in for an extra stun. The extra bit of burst damage required as well. 2 down as successful moves from Liquid begin to ramp up.
All all those support levels they were lacking come in, and now they're just straight up ahead with level 9s. With finding the opening here. Big pickup's going to give them a lot of momentum. Pushing towards a pretty decent mid-game timing on these 3 cores if you can get to some early games, which is what they're eyeing. There's, again, very limited control on the side of Talon to deal with that double, triple BKB timing playing the Luna objective game. What happens if Liquid just decide to start forcing Roshan and building with some spell immunity? Not a lot to throw into it, right? Jabs just needs to be strong enough that he can frontline and waste the duration. And so far, Jabs is the one continuing to punish.
Yeah, he's plummeted down the network chart. He is
4 deaths will do
way
that.
far behind everybody else.
Yeah, he's not had a huge amount of ancient stacks because the supports have been active around mid for Talon, prioritizing Makoto. His lane was pretty rough. I mean, they had first blood and it's a Luna lane. The one getting hunted right now.
Yeah, this is going to be the second time he's going to be ganked around his tier 1 tower bottom lane. And the TPs will come far too late to get the punish.
Liquid have identified the weak point in Talon right now. It is Jabs, and they are continuing to exploit it. A 5th death for the Bristleback. Just no front line in sight. He still doesn't have that Ags. It's going to shift more weight to Q and Makoto. Finds the pickoff.
Here comes Wrath. It's going to reveal the 2 supports. They quickly go for the toss kill, see if they can burst him before the snowball. Not quite good enough. That's going to delay this kill just a tad bit. As a result, Insania will be able to go home free.
He does have a blink on boxing. So as rough as the first 10 minutes were, the next 7 or so were pretty damn good. And that's going to give you your initiation power here, as we saw with that blink reveal. Something else that can just make Jabs' game a lot harder. When the Tusk can start on you with a Dawn follow-up, like you saw in that triangle, all of a sudden there's just nowhere to go because you can hold the snowball, you can hold the shards. Guarantee that the Dawn ult lands, and then you're just stuck in tag team Starbreaker. Not a lot of heroes survive that.
Manta Lucian's going to be pushing down all these lanes. He also just picks up the shard. Jab's going to be caught here. Pull back in again. The double global ultimate putting to use every single time. They're thinking about this Bristleback kill. They are just not letting this hero get off the ground, not letting him get to this Aghanim Scepter.
6 deaths, 8 minutes here. He is still level 10. He is just falling so damn far behind on XP. Insania's level 10. Like, this is an ancient farming hero that's the same level as your enemy 5. Something has gone wrong here. It has gone wrong very quickly for Jabs. He just doesn't have much space. I mean, 3's soaking it all up. Which means someone needs to show on the lane, and the second you show, you're not tanky enough to survive this double global burst. It's gone.
See a lot of drawings on the map. Team Liquid seem to circle around that mid area. They want to keep playing in Talon's space, I assume. And Talon saying, we got to push out that bottom lane. We got to be able to play the whole part of the map because they do. I mean, this game's going a little too fast right now, right? They want to slow it down, get to the round of items that they can get.
A very early game went well for Talon, but they weren't able to translate it. Now you're just kind of stuck with these sluggish heroes on the map. You're getting out map presence in terms of global ability from the Dawn. Yeah. Storm just has free jumps. The only one hero Storm cares about. You can't be everywhere. And now you can start to accelerate the objective taking with the Luna lineup that can ball. You don't have that big aura presence like the Darkseer, but you have tag team. You have nighttime.
Yeah, they know about the Roshan, but they also know Insania was isolated in the bottom lane. Talon feeling like they can't get to that top lane fast enough, I guess. But at the same time, Liquid did abandon doing that.
About the damage they were taking.
It is going to swap over to the other side, which may make things a little bit more awkward for Liquid as Talon are holding that bottom area of the map pretty well. Got a couple of wards in there too.
I mean, I guess your Talon every minute that Jabs isn't getting killed, you're probably happy.
Yeah, he's averaging a death once every 3 minutes.
Yeah,
so
the game's progressing better for you.
If you can get past the 21-minute mark without a death, I think that's improvement.
Still doesn't have his Ags, man. The thing about Ags less hero is, okay, you can use it to farm, but you really want to use it to slay. It's a fighting item. The earlier you get it, the better. Maybe you can wait for your second, but that's what hero's supposed to strike. Catch up to
Maybe because he's being targeted so much, he also did the build where he's maxing out on the Bristleback passive, where we've seen, obviously the build lately has been one level of the Bristleback, so you take more damage, therefore you put back more will.
He's gone for the 4 points here.
Radiant are scanning for
signifies
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, he knows he's going to be targeted. He knows he has to play the front line for his Terrorblade and his Zeus, so I mean, it's not like the supports are going to be able to do for it in this game. They're reactionary heroes, right? They want to be able to sit in the back line too. So
yeah, his job is just to stall as long as possible, potentially stall the BKB. That's just not going to be an option because the single target burst damage for Liquid is absolutely insane. You have Deso picked up from Zai. You have the Storm jumping in with 3 levels in Tag Team and 4 levels of Lunar Blessing. That single target physical is just disgusting. And you have an AA blast to throw on top of it, so no healing. There is no save in this Talon lineup. Something to consider as we go late game. I mean, I guess there's Sunder.
Yeah.
And there's Sunray with, like, you know, Ags, Phoenix, ultra late game, but I consider that extremely situational, especially with Polly's net worth here. So basically, Sunray doesn't do anything for you. It's only the Sunder. It's 23 willing to sacrifice his AP for another core. If he has Aegis, maybe. Without Aegis, pretty spooky. So that single target jump for Liquid's pretty damn reliable. Even the blink on Insania to guarantee that fast Ice Blast. Saw Kittrack doing this in
His
Western Europe,
top
so
tower is about to be radiant. Top rubble. Guy is putting up
fellow
a
comrade sleep
barricade.
and put it to good use.
yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I like the way Kittrack did it. I mean, it makes sense. This ability is hard to land, so anything that makes it easier. I mean, it's the one thing you have to get. You have to successfully on this team fight. It's like your only job as Aiden Apparition, or at least your most important.
The only downside I can think of is, I mean, you are playing against Zeus.
Yeah, well,
You know, you get your AA blink canceled.
that's a sentence that I never thought I would be saying
Yeah,
in a TI
I had to think
cast.
about it.
But
His top tower is about
What
to be
happens
radiant.
when that ancient apparition blink gets canceled? He misthrows the ult.
oh no.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Well, that just means all the more important for Team Liquid to be setting the tempo, getting the initiation, and they're going to get some information here. Talon inside the pit, 3 of them caught in this Ice Blast, but it's only Nisha who's nearby. They go for the Zeus. They got an opening here. Boxy scouted out Makoto alone, and Talon, the rest of them low like that. No way they can complete the Roshan. They have to give it up to Liquid, with Makoto being dead.
Touché! Looking for Nisha. I mean, he's got to be careful. You have Snowball save. It doesn't always bail you out for Earth Shaker, though. And Zai got trapped.
Oh, sneaks right past the Fisher there. It looked like he was not going to be able to make it out, but it seems like there was just enough room. They popped the smoke because, after all, they used their metamorphosis on the TV. They do not want to give this Aegis
Half duration. This is a Scotty meta timing for 23. You let Liquid go here, you are conceding Roshan.
And Q was looking for an opening somewhere here. Looks like with the Fisher, they might be able to finish off Insania without committing much.
Couldn't get the blink off. Sometimes you gotta pay the price. They still can't roach.
Look,
That's the
look,
problem.
they're setting up for Makoto again. They've got this lane ward, and they're saying he's going to walk back down the lane. They really want to be able to kill the Zeus first, because with meta down, then, I mean, there's just not much damage left in the fight.
But Zai also just wanted to kill his mid tower.
Middle tower is
He's the Roshan without the AA blast. No meta, though.
I mean, it felt like, from my perspective, Liquid don't necessarily need the Ice Blast to take the
No,
fight.
I don't think you do, especially when they had their BKB. I mean, you have BKB on Nisha, you have BKB on Nika here. Just normally when I think you'd be looking to force the fight.
Great win for Talon, then, as they get an Aegis into the hands of 23 Savage.
And now that Thunder save it could come into play, right? You have a lot of single target focus, so if you can save one of your other cores and use the Aegis that way, not a bad way to turn the fight.
And 23 is known to be pretty sacrificial with those Thunders.
Yeah, he is.
Put it to use. 4,000 net worth lead still for Team Liquid after the Roshan taken for Talon. Even kill score, though, 12-12 as we approach 25 mark. Gotta watch out for that negative interceptor, though. Boxy slowed down to a crawl by this. With the Sunray damage, they'll instantly get the damage on him as he comes out of the snowball. No way for him to blink.
And this is where that long-range poke becomes that much more deadlier. With the Nimbus, you just throw down on top of that Fisher, Sunray, Nimbus, and just even some Terrorblade illusions hitting you off, so it adds up pretty fast.
Yeah.
That's how Talon wants to start these fights. Liquid just need to not give them that opening. They're probably going to wait out this Aegis period, honestly. I don't think you want to take the full fight through the Terrorblade right now with 2 lives.
Nisha spotted, not by any heroes with stuns, though. And he's got a haste rune. Even the slow from the Bristleback is no problem for Nisha. Oh, they're going to find Insania still. They actually had this really deep ward by the TP point of the outpost. So they knew where he was at.
Triple BKB timing for Liquid, not going to get put to use instantly here. They're going to have to wait a bit. behind their mark.
scared
Maybe
of
not
their
too sad about
enemies.
it though with how far Jab still is
Radiant's
behind.
bottom tower is
And
under
of course,
attack.
like BKBs for Zeus are
Dire's
always
top tower is under attack.
as good as you get, right? Hero does not do anything to carry the fight during the duration.
Radiant's bottom tower
You got a
must
decent
be
window
busy.
here.
Dire's top
3
tower
minutes
is
left on
under
the Aegis.
attack.
So you're gonna get a tier 2 off it, you're gonna get some catch-up farm for your other cores,
Dire's top
and
tower
you get
has
more.
fallen.
And you find an initiation on the map right now if you're Talon, because you really wanted to, and instead it's
Radiant's
Boxy.
bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, Makoto.
Over here,
Somehow shifts the knife, just passing right on past Boxy, who, again, they are hunting Makoto when they get the opportunity, but now it's Boxy who's spotted by Makoto instead, and so likely going to be dying inside of this Nimbus field. Puts Makoto up to level 15 now, so the experience going back the way of Talon a bit more. 4K becomes 2K gold lead for Liquid.
And to some degree, if you're Talon, you kind of have to be happy going with the draft you set up for yourself. I don't think it's that one-sided in terms of draft, but yeah, I mean, it is Talon, and it is a Shaker Phoenix lineup.
They got some big team fight, they got some good scaling, and it's just their ammo. What they feel comfortable with. We're gonna go a Shadow Blade build up. So this is pretty interesting with the Storm Spirit initiation. As you said, Talon wants to be able to play the distance game. When we were talking about game 1 and playstyle, when it comes to Team Liquid being the speed and Talon being this brick wall that they try and just stop all your momentum and push it late. In this game, it seems like it's going to be a game of initiation and
Radiant's top
distance.
tower's under attack.
I think Liquid are fine with that because they have the Storm.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So you just jump in with Storm. If you ever get to an Ags and you get this AoE Vortex with a BKB Storm going in, there's no real counterplay. If you ever catch 2 or 3, you're just going to gobble them up with the Dawnbreaker coming in. With all the minus armor, Zai's building especially, it's not amazing versus the Terrorblade, but it shreds everybody else here. SO into AC for the Dawnbreaker. Tag team over all of it, I mean, you're going to disappear. And 23 decides a minute left on this Aegis is enough to go high ground. This is an aggressive high ground.
I like this. I mean, honestly, keep Team Liquid honest. They're trying to push down your tier 2. You've already taken the tier 2. Put some damage onto that tier 3. Aisha sticks around, finishes off finally, but guess what? Your tier 3 is now dead.
How much do you want to push this? How much do you want to try and set up on the other
Really
side?
giving this up?
Yeah, this is a lot of space Liquid giving them.
They're finally going to start coming back, but maybe it's a bit too late for this range barracks to survive.
3 racks for 23.
And he's still halfway through his meta.
I think he's going in with Silverhead.
Trying to get a little bit scouting, but Q, they wanted and managed to get the TP away. They do have the Dawnbreaker, but they all managed to hop out of it. There's no chance there. He's beating back Mickey. Nisha goes to the kill on the Q, diving with his BKB. Actually, the last second of the stun, not quite good enough. Still though, Talon are retreating successfully, even if it is a 1 for 2. They don't get caught too much here. They've walked away with the kill on the carry.
But look at the ward. Foxy sees everything right now.
Gets the punch up in the air, quickly throws down Ollie. With Sai coming through, a beautiful hit from the stun, and getting good damage in with the BKB just came in for 22 seconds. Got stunned up though. He's gonna be maybe losing the sword punch. Pops down BKB, trying to commit to the kill on the hand. And he barely gets it, but there it is. The life goes down, Zai's gonna walk away. Now he doesn't have a BKB on his second life. This is bad for 23, bad for Talon. If they could have gotten away, but Team Liquid will not let them escape.
Foxy just plays the long game and reaps all the reward here. That initiation from Liquid went terribly with the Dawn ult missing, the initial Storm jump not yielding too much, and Mickey dies pretty much solo. Some Fire Spirit Sunray in 23, and then somehow you get that long fight going. Foxy and Zai just cleaning house here. Also, just that TPB BKB from 23. It didn't pan out in terms of timings in this fight, right? Like your meta's wearing out, they get to play the second half of this fight, and the second you get clumped like this, anytime you clump versus Liquid, it's gonna be a world of pain. The shards, the snowball, the Starbreaker, the vortexes from A gonna be thrown down on top of all of it. He even probably, I think he killed Zai there if he doesn't TP.
Stupendous!
I think 23 did himself a little bit of a disservice.
Yeah.
They did get the range racks, they did get a tier 3. Honestly, I think it's more than I expected to get for with that Aegis. It's just a really strange fight. Mickey not happy about the fact that he doesn't get to clean any of it up because, of course, the janitors always win.
Died first thing in the fight. He's not going to be feeling great. great, but everybody else on Team Liquid pretty happy with that engagement. I mean, would you, like you said, the tier 3, it was more than I expected, but at the same time, I feel like Team Liquid also got more back than I would have expected.
Yeah, that fight went better for them than it looked at the start. It looked terrible at the start, but that shows you the power of their scale. That's why I don't think this game is even one-sided for Talon in the ultra late. The way Zai is itemized, the amount of work that Foxy can do in these fights with the snowball save versus the shaker, if he can ever displace it, finding the Zeus, find Makoto at the start of these fights. It just opens up so much of the damage differential for Liquid.
Yeah.
And Hex for Nisha means your single target initiation is that much more reliable.
I think if Zai had not if he had gone for more of a utility, you know, team fight item sort of build, I think Liquid would be pretty concerned. But yeah, because he went the Deso route and is scaling so nicely, no problem here with the 7,000 net worth lead, now 8.
It's just all about jumping Talon and killing them. Because there's a decent argument in this game you're playing for Zeus that you want more ice, you want a pipe, you want a Greaves, you want glimmers. That's a route a lot of teams will take. Here, Liquid just opting for raw aggression, right? We're going to jump you, we are going to find you, and the second that happens with the Storm and the Tusk, Zai is guaranteed to be in there off the ult.
His top tower is about to be Radiant's top rubble.
That's what they're aiming for here. So if you're Talon, you also need some more kiting in this game.
Yeah, and then, I think he was pretty aware of that. He was getting charged at in that last team fight. We've got Neon Disc being built up by Makoto. He is probably the #1 priority.
If you survive the BKB jump from Liquid, you can turn it around, and you have your supports alive. That was okay for you.
Nisha again, just diving in deep, gets the last Dawnbreaker to get the positioning, and once again, they kill first. This time around, the Supernova is going to go down, but Team Liquid are being able to disengage away from it. They can't let Zai get away. No way that he gets out of this for free. So they'll kill him, trading 1 for 1. Ultimately, that, I mean, you traded a 4 position for a 3. Surely that's fine for Talon.
Yeah, you're okay with that for Talon. Liquid, I expect everybody to be there. They had a pretty good jungle war that saw some of Talon, but not everything. I will pay the price.
And it's an awkward timing, especially for Liquid. With this long death timer on the side of Zai, Roshan's coming up in 12 seconds. We'll see what Team Liquid feels about when their Terror Blade died. Mickey in that last team fight. Successful fight, but maybe not for Mickey. Let's see how they feel.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Yeah, it would have been cool. It would have been cool if they could have waited out the Aegis, but they had no problem killing Terrorblade a second time.
Yeah, that's a good PMA call.
I like that Zai, you know, the veteran voice. It's all cool. You know, I can feel the calming presence from him, but they should be concerned because Zai is not there right now to be able to help them with this Roshan fight, which Talon is currently taking. If they could get themselves another Aegis, I feel like this just kind of guarantees the game to go late, which we know Talon would prefer very likely.
I just say that type of team environment, you would never see that on a North American team. It's a very different type of situation. Maybe there's a reason they've been very successful all year, you know?
Yeah, well, it's somebody. Shut the hell up. Okay.
Maybe. Where's our carry, guys? That would have been the comment for sure. Foxy leading the charge off the smoke.
He's going to bring some smokes in. That gives an opportunity for the jump in from Nisha, but they popped their BKB on Jazz. They didn't quite finish up the initiation onto the Earth Shaker. Maybe they do get him. Pulled back in. Once again, Dawnbreaker comes in to finish off the job. Zai goes for the kill, and he'll bring down Q. They can't do anything about these BKBs. They're trying to draw it out, but oh, Ollie's going to join him. In the afterlife, just too much burst damage. Now they pursue. Without the support there, they're feeling okay about this, but they lost Foxy. Perhaps too aggressive.
That was a little deep.
Liquid could have just been very content taking Roshan, and maybe they still will.
Yeah, but they lost their tag team.
Yeah, that helps.
It's also switching sides. Makoto grabs an Arcane Rune, and Talon are TP top. Their supports are up in 20 seconds. It's going to be dire side Roshan.
Oh, they're going to run into each other. If they can actually get a free kill onto Insania, this would make the numbers go fully in the favor of Talon.
Insania just too fast for himself. He got here way ahead of time.
Yeah, guys, where are you at?
I mean, it's disconnected right now for Liquid. Can't get to the side of the map. They have no tier 1, no tier 2 on that side because that was the lane that Talon pushed in earlier with the Aegis. What pays off here?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, I guess the range barracks did have a big impact.
Yeah, it mattered a bit as that lane got swung in. And now all of a sudden, Talon, they get away from a BKB fight that got both supports into a position where you just force Roshan here. You know you have around 15 to 20 seconds no BKBs, but it's not that fast either. And mean, how good do you think your pit fight really is? Liquid decide to jump on top of you. Because your initiation does not exist. So if you're Talon, you can't just smoke into Liquid and start the fight on
Dyer's
your
middle
terms.
tower
It's
looks
near
to be
impossible.
disintegrating.
I will say one thing about these corner fights, though, it does make it really hard to jump the very crucial
Dyer's middle
supports.
tower is
Like this
taking a
Phoenix can just
death
literally sit in the corner and have a good
It is
supernova
good.
around the pit.
But Liquid have had enough damage to kill these support. Even with the kiting, the glimmers, the force stabs, the sun rays. Stupendous! Been finding it. It does make you concerned though, right? Because this BKB goes down a second every time, and now you're on 6-second BKB.
Yeah.
Is that enough time for you to kill these supports as they start to tank up? And that'll be a full MKB done for 23. He opted just for the full damage and the full pierce first Mickey here. This is like as hard as possible.
Very right for them or very poorly.
This is
no buyback,
a
playing for the
nightmare.
Roshan fight all in.
As you could have gone a survivability item here if you're 23. You could have gone something like Satanic, even into the A blast. It's not really going to hit you.
But the guys, Jeff picked up the Aegis. 23 isn't going to have that extra life. Is he going to be fine though? Mickey
Shredded
in
him.
there with a BKB, but he knows that the mechanic line to launch away. Mickey, he managed to push through both of those heroes, one person, two, and the rest of Talon are crumbling to the initiation of the storm here. They're both going to try and get away, but remember, this was an all-in. They took away the Aegis. That means 23 can't join in this fight. They buy back, but for what? The supports will not have cores join them in this second part of the fight, and they're just going to be hunted down now. Diebacks on the side of Talon. Oh no, Talon, what have you done?
That A blast did some serious work, right? Because you had a cheese on the bristle. The Aegis and cheese didn't go to the Terrorblade. He sunders, but it's not a great sunder here, and Mickey just stands his ground. That Satanic comes in extremely clutch. BKB Butterfly Satanic Shard timing for Luna is no joke in this meta, and that shows us exactly why. They're gonna go outfight the Terrorblade, bristle head up.
You could see Mickey was pushing forward there.
Yeah, I
if
mean-
he wanted to hit to your cores.
You know there's no meta.
Yeah, he just picked up that MKB. You could probably guess at least no meta, but maybe no buyback.
Dyer's middle tower is full.
That is not a man fight that 23 expected to lose. He picks up his MKB to win that. Being said, it goes horribly wrong. He just might get mega here. 7 seconds on the Terrorblade. No shaker for 20. This is the power of Luna. You break these tier 3s, it opens up everything.
Might have to throw some bodies in there. It's not looking great, Jazz. He just has to do something about this. Mickey's going to take Megas, otherwise he gets the BK. It's out. He's fine.
Everything and more as Mickey makes up for that team fight earlier and clears through the entirety of Talon's base off of one bad fight for 23. What did you get for it? You got a cheese. A cheese on jabs. You can't use it because he's getting A blast. Very rough spot now.
You're talented. You were in for the long haul before. Well, that's the only option now. Mega's at 38 minutes. You're going to have to push this game as late as humanly possible. See this fight. Great Ice Blast. Mickey just going down so low every single time. As you said, 23 bought that MKB to beat out the Butterfly, but it was the Satanic that proved to be superior.
And Liquid jumping the backline here, too. The supports just can't really help that man fight at all. I mean, you can output some damage into that BKB Luna there, and you might just win that. But the disruption on the backline, forcing buybacks out from these supports, they can't do anything. And I'm pretty sure that's what Nisha's saying. Like, Q can't play any of these fights. There's no really big eggs that have swayed the advantage. There's just nothing to help the man fight versus Mickey here. And
no great Echo Slams, no great Supernovas.
Right.
And it's not necessarily their fault. It should their game.
I mean, because how do you prevent it? How do you prevent the Storm going on your backline in this game? You have no jump of your own. The only way you prevent it is really forcing an objective and your front line stands there and you are able to hide your supports super far back or smoke them.
Get a quick peek into Liquid's comms there after a team fight that was huge for them.
Illusion.
Oh, you can tell from that atmosphere that they definitely feel like this game is done, and they might be right. Mega Creeps puts them in a massive advantage, but you still have to be able to close it out.
You know your team feeling good when the comms are just like, yo, did you see me in that fight, guys? Yo, did you see me in that fight, guys? Everybody wants
my
to
damage?
glory. It's not about what went wrong or what we have to do. It's just, look at how great that was. was everything.
He's going in Aghanim stuff. All right.
Why not?
You want some additional scaling? Get your Ancient Apparition to start delivering some
I mean, honestly,
auto attack damage like an Enchantress.
it is pretty effective damage for steroids.
Yeah, that.
In the late game when he doesn't have long BKB duration. You'll just kill him if you're alive. It is a pretty big factor here. Everybody on Liquid just scaling. I mean, that's part of the meta, right? You just want as many cores as effective as can with some utility to back it up.
And something Liquid understands they have to do against Talon.
Maybe just makes the game more comfortable too, right?
Yeah.
They've been in a lot of these games with Talon where it goes ultra late and something weird happens and then Talon can turn it. You just build up this extra insurance. It seals the deal.
They've also been in a couple positions. Megas on a TA.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Liquid, no stranger to a Megas game, and they'll find the whole
down of jabs. He's been a target for Liquid this entire game. These constant pickoffs. And they only need one pickoff to really open up the door to hitting these tier 4s. Particularly scary against the Luna. Gets these bouncy glaives. Changes a little bit. BKB immediately after the huge find 23, but he cannot hold anybody in place. BKB meta and a buyback from jabs. Liquid just got away with so much there.
instant disengage. They knew exactly what they wanted. And at some point, I feel like if you're Talon, you have to just go in and echo slam somebody. I mean, it's not the greatest thing. You're probably going to get canceled, but maybe it allows 23 to kill the Luna or something as a follow-up. It gives you a better egg. Because every fight has been the storm jumping. And at some point, that paradigm has to shift.
Enemies.
Especially if Liquid are able to do what they just did there, where they poke out a meta and retreat, and then, oh great, now you're going to have meta on cooldown for a while. Mega Soup's going to push the base in.
Talon, they try and smoke out with the remaining seconds of that meta, try and catch Team Liquid slipping, but they're ice cold right now. Playing the top side of the map, not going to be caught, just leading the Mega Creeps, give them the information that they need, forcing Talon back to base again.
They're going to jump here. No meta for 70. You're not afraid of anything happening.
Jabs used his buyback earlier.
Number 10 for him would be a death sentence here.
He gets close, pops the break, he gets up the BKB, though this time around, the picture is really nice. Yes, they get on the 2, they're going to turn around, try and deal with the Supernova, it gets hitting it, no Thunder, they get it, well, they hold something, it's on the Terrorblade, no Thunder opportunity, they pop the cheeky he's on jab, but without a Terrorblade, there's really nothing left for Talon, they're going to call it here, GG, Team Liquid continuing to have Talon's number in playoffs here, yet another victory.
And that was one of the more dominant ones of the year, really. Like, game 2 especially, it looked a little shaky in some of those fights for Vicky, but look at his net worth, the way Liquid were playing the map.